Robert F. Kennedy was an American politician and lawyer from Massachusetts. He was born on November 20th, 1925, and was the younger brother of John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States. RFK was famous for his focus on organized crime and rights for African Americans. Robert also was involved in many other issues going on in the United States during this time.
Robert began his career at Millen Academy, and after serving in the Navy, he earned his degree in government from Harvard in 1948. 3 years later, he obtained his law degree from the University of Virginia. His family was very government-oriented and was often the topic of discussion around the house growing up. He made his debut in politics as manager of the older brother John's successful campaign for U.S. Senate. It wasn't until 1960 that he became manager of John's presidential campaign, which was also successful. He was then appointed Attorney General in President Kennedy's cabinet.
As Attorney General, Robert launched an effective drive against organized crime and the obtaining of rights and integration of African Americans into society. The Attorney General displayed his commitment to civil rights during a speech at the University of Georgia Law School. Kennedy dispatched troops to Oxford, Mississippi to enforce the admission of the first African American student into the university. Robert made a big move when he collaborated with Big Brother John to pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
The Civil Rights Act was very effective and ended segregation in public places and banned employment discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. This act is considered one of the crowning legislative achievements of the civil rights movement.
RFK was always concerned in human rights. He traveled to Eastern Europe, Latin America, and South Africa to share his belief that all people have a basic human right to participate in the political decisions that affect their lives and to criticize their government without fear of reprisal. He also believed that those who strike out against injustice show the highest form of courage. In June of 1966, he traveled to South Africa and delivered what is considered to be one of his greatest speeches at the University of Cape Town. The Ripple of Hope paragraph in his Day of Affirmation address remains one of the most quoted in American politics.
RFK most definitely had an utmost impact on society today. There are several people that fight for their basic human rights on the daily. RFK was one of the most creative men in American history. His courage to help others shape the world to become a better place. Kennedy's actions should not be overlooked, but instead be modeled in modern society. We thank Kennedy for his dedication and understanding of how human rights should be handled.